Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
But inside it's so delightful.
It's Christmas in July.
Let's review.
Let's review, let's review.
Oh, let's review.
Season 2.
Bomb.
Bum.
Yeah.
Mr. Sheffield.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh, God bless
You
friend.
knew I was going to do that.
I knew you were going to do that. A part of me was hoping you wouldn't, but I knew you were going to do it.
No. Well, we'll see about the part of you that's hoping that I don't do another thing that you might be hoping that I don't do, but we'll get to that.
Oy.
This episode it's just inviting the Darwin joke on a silver platter. I'm sorry, I'll just say that
No,
right
I didn't
now.
see that at all. I know.
They're stranded in the snow. It's coming. It's coming. Don't you worry. It's coming.
Oh God!
I've got to make a joke at some point. It's just,
Please don't tell
out for
me
me.
you're not gonna tailor it to another character in the show, are you? You're just gonna
no. I'm just gonna call it out as what it is. All right.
Because I love that character who might be on the chopping block. 'Cause I love that character. I want you.
All right. Moving on.
Okay, so what are we talking about specifically?
Oh, in jokes, gotta love them. We're talking about the nanny, specifically the Hanukkah story. And I gotta say, I love the sound clip of Mom, why can't we have a Christmas tree? There's a lot of good sound bites in this episode.
Yeah, this.
Oh,
Yeah. For those who may not know, yeah, I'm a big fan of the show. I really do like it.
uh-huh.
You know, it's always entertaining. It's kind of like in the '90s. To a degree, I'm not saying of the same kind of historical.
Oh,
impact,
don't you dare.
Let me.
BlueDragonFive! Is that a fucking Mazba down there, BlueDragonFive?
I mean, it's of like they're trying to emulate I Love Lucy, but
It's
for the
obviously
'90s.
not of the same quality.
I know not of the same quality. I'm saying it's like they're trying to emulate I Love Lucy and the archetypes of that in the '90s, and they always kind of still had like. You may not be I Love Lucy, but it has kind of an appeal similar to I Love Lucy in that you just watch a show. It's kind of like when it comes on, you feel at home watching. And it's like, man, I like this show gives me a lot of kind of,
comfort food TV. You know what I mean?
what?
Comfort food.
Exactly. It's like it's perfect. The perfect Nick at Night TV Land type show, and apparently in this case Lifetime, which I forgot it was on Lifetime. But seriously, this show for me was always filled with laughs and great characters, and always I can't recall like a bad episode. Really, this show always kind of made me laugh. I always liked this show.
Yeah, I mean, I got to admit, I'm not as big of a fan of this show, but after this episode, this episode definitely has a lot of amusing qualities to it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it with my mom. That's what I remember. I remember being with my mom, in her apartment on summer vacation and just watching Lifetime, and that's just what was on at 2 in the afternoon, and there would be like marathons of it, and so that's what I remember it from. But not a lot of it is stuck with me. So I don't know, and that's why you bring up I Love Lucy, and I'm like, oh, hell no, because I Love Lucy is definitely a show where it's like, every episode to me of I Love Lucy is a classic. But I don't know, I guess, it just depends on how much you watched it, because like I said, I just sort of casually watched it with my mom on afternoons when there was nothing else on, so that was pretty much my extent of it.
Yeah, this show is kind of one of the most famous kind of will they won't these of TV history. There are various in TV history, but this is like a biggie for the '90s.
So I guess that's why the kids get such a big applause at the end.
Well, no, at this point they were married. They were safe at this point. But I'm saying, the way it kind of breaks, and after like the first 3 seasons, then it kind of starts with 3 they're trying to get together. 4, I could be wrong with how this exactly maps out, but it's been a while. 4, I think, is them eventually getting. I think 4 is getting married. It's either 4 or 5 is getting married, but it's like they date in 4, they get married in 5, then they have kids in 6. That's how it goes, I think.
Also, don't you dare say that it's better than the Ross and Rachel will they won't they?
Oh no, I'm just saying this.
Because that was the ultimate will they won't they.
This was one of the big '90s will they won't they's. But here's the thing: it wasn't that big a will they won't they because we know they're always going to. We know it's gonna.
Because
happen.
oh my God, Ross and Rachel, they dragged that shit out until the last second.
Yeah.
I got off the plane.
We were on a break.
Oh god. All right. Anyways.
Point is, this is always kind of like the charm. Like these two characters falling in love, and Maxwell Sheffield, lovable father that he is. He's grieving, but he's a little blinded by his grief because he obviously is in love with this woman. It took him many seasons to realize it. We're at the point we are in this season for this episode. They finally, they've gotten together and they're trying to start a new family again. It's really nice.
All right. So with that, let's get into it.
Sure. And I can assume you know the premise of this show is watching the intro.
Yeah, it's not that hard to pick up. So
that's how it all started. That's like how the first season started, and onward just advance them getting closer together. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. So
got it.
Okay, so let's see. So we start the episode. We see Fran telling Brighton. Brighton's the boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I don't think the kids were really that memorable in this episode.
Yeah, that's the thing. Looking back on this, I should say this before we go forward. Looking back on this one's good. I think it's this one for me. The flashbacks are my favorite part of this one, which we'll get into.
I think the flashbacks are probably like a big reason why we're doing this.
They are, because that's why out of all the nanny.
I mean, they lost probably all of like a minute and a half of screen time, but they're just delightful.
Yeah, out of all that's the reason I picked this one out over the other Nanny Christmas specials.
Okay,
one is Hanukkah, and two, it's like I think the Flash is just so hilarious. This one always jumped to my own.
Definitely shades of Gallivant.
Yeah, definitely. And anyway, so like.
Oh, I'm only 12 years old, but I'll do my best, sir.
But unfortunately, looking at this one, I was kind of factoring this in when I was watching it again. It's like, yeah, this one maybe isn't the best kind of get someone into it who hasn't watched it in a long while.
No, and I think we've been making that mistake a lot with Christmas in July recently.
Well, it's bound to happen. Like same thing
with Rock, I don't think was a good starting point.
Let's let your Star Command from last season.
Yeah, definitely.
The point is, these are good.
Big Bang Theory, I'd say maybe.
Yeah.
That kind of jumped right into the thick of some storylines.
That's the thing, but that's the risk we take on Christmas.
Of course. And that's the fun thing about it is that it's just kind of like a grab bag.
Yeah, but by no means do we want to discourage anyone from checking out the other episodes of the show, because I assure you, it holds up a lot better on the other episodes than one just like in season 6 mid a Christmas episode type deal.
Exactly. All right. Anyways,
maybe not the best one to start with. That's my opinion. Okay, so anyways, we got Fran telling Brighton to be home in time to play spin the dreidel. To spin the dreidel with Sammy, Yetta, and her mother.
And then he makes some sort of Jeopardy quip like, "Oh, I'll take worst ideas ever for 200, Alex."
Yeah, doesn't sound like a fun time to the kid.
I'm like, you're a little brat.
No, again, he's usually, but he is always.
Sorry.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's always a little sardonic, but he's a good kid. Though.
All right.
But he's not. Don't get me wrong. He's not my favorite kid out of the three of them by any stretch. But
Okay, so Fran asked the grandmother to.
Yeah, Yetta. So Yetta is actually fun. She's actually much younger actress than she plays.
Really?
A lot of makeup on her.
Oh, okay. I had no idea.
No spring chicken, but she's not elderly by any stretch.
Right.
She plays it really well.
Okay. Nice.
Anyway, so Yetta's the old one married to Ray Charles.
Is it literally Ray Charles?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was Ray Charles or if it was like some guy doing an impersonation of Ray Charles.
Pretty sure
it looked a lot like Ray Charles. Don't get me wrong. I was pretty sure it was Ray Charles.
No, it's Ray Charles, all right.
But I was like, holy crap, is that the Ray Charles?
Yeah, that is the Ray Charles. He plays.
It just kind of took me by surprise. I just kind of was in disbelief for a second.
And one of the fun ideas is that Yetta. So Yetta is Sylvia's mom. Sylvia is the one who's always eating. That is Fran's mom, the one with the big blonde hair. And so Yetta, that's your grandmother, Yetta, and she got married before, I want to say before Fran did, but I can't remember. The point, like, she got married at her age, too, with the wonderful, the incomparable Ray Charles, which is and
what a class act.
And Yetta's gags that she's very, very forgetful, and it's borderline senile.
So, like I said, Fran asked for the paper towels. No more paper towels!
And Yetta says, wait, they're making them out of paper now?
Oh, just sit down and play with your chocolate dreidel.
Love you too. And you see Sammy. Sammy's adorable. I just think, oh, I love. Like, it's such a sweet thing between these two. They love each other so much, even though she many times forget that she's married to this man.
And like I said, when I first saw him, I was just kind of like in disbelief that it was the Ray Charles. I was like,
No.
wait, is this some sort of like Ray Charles, like really good Ray Charles impersonator, or what? What's going on here? I don't know.
Okay, let's see. So then, Sammy kind of asked kind of some questions, kind of establish to the audience like what the deal is with some Hanukkah.
Yeah, it's pretty much exposition, but whatever. It's Ray Charles, so we'll give him props.
It's exposition to the layman about Hanukkah. We could all use a little
Sure.
little knowledge on that. No fault. There's basically Sammy's asking why all Jewish holidays start at sundown, which is a logical question. I never really thought of that myself to ask someone.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, well, it's more of a comedic answer. She says, well, it's bad luck to basically because we wearing sequins beforehand is gauche, or afterhand is gauche.
Oh God.
Because if you wear a sequence before sundown, it's gauche. I think is the way it goes. Miss Fine and her she's always very fashionable. Tiki, if you haven't picked up on that,
Oh, I definitely picked up on that.
Well, she did sell cosmetics and makeup salons and stuff. She's very trendy for the '90s. Very trendy. Let's see. So, then we get a nice little intro to okay. Here's an element that doesn't work for me in this episode. Introducing Maxwell's sister here.
I assume she's not a regular.
Yeah, not a regular. To be honest with you, I mean, she may have been in. I vaguely remember this one episode. There's a character. The thing is, I don't know if she was like Max's sister or her cousin, because usually Max plays in. This is the weird thing, because usually Max just kind of plays like an own. Wait, no, he has a brother. Never mind. So he has other family, but it makes that other flashback a little more funny.
Right.
I know. See, Max has a brother, and I guess he has a sister. I thought it was his cousin. This one episode, it might have been her. I can't remember. She's very forgettable. That's her problem.
Yeah, she's like Chuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Just dribble the basketball upstairs and it's never seen again.
So I have no memory of this character whatsoever. She's very forgettable, and this especially, you could have completely cut her out of it. It would make no difference.
Okay. So would you say very, very forgettable character showing up as a holiday special trope?
Actually, yes, because we got an All in the Family.
Let's do it.
We got Teresa and All in the Family. Yeah, let's count it up.
Right. There we go.
All right. Okay,
so that's a fun one.
We're getting off to a good start here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so Maxwell's sister drops by, and I love, of course, my favorite character in this show, Niles the butler.
Of course. How could it not be your favorite character?
And
I'm speaking of that not just for you, but for everyone. He's adorable.
Yeah, seriously, he's one of the most hilarious parts of the show, and he's the reason they kept coming back. Oh man, this guy's hilarious. So Niles, as he doesn't have a lot to do in this episode, but when he appears, my God, like in the first act of this episode, he's hilarious, and it was right off the bat. He has a great intro line to this character. And there's a Miss Sheffield, Maxwell's sister, says, "And stopping by without any notice whatsoever. Happy holidays."
Okay, I'd say I chalk that up to another trope, the unexpected visit.
Yes. hey, another All in the Family.
Right, yeah, All in the Family tie-ins. Nice.
Okay, anyway, so we see she's kind of stuck up, like, not no fault of her own stuck up, so she doesn't get lower society, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she treats Fran like, she doesn't mean to treat Fran bad, she just doesn't. She's very
she's just kind of dim.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's see. So
she does have a really funny bit later on in the episode.
Later on, yeah, sure. But anyway, so it's like
she does have one really funny moment.
Like right here though, like Sammy walks by and says, "Oh, don't you remember you were basically at Fran's wedding, and Sammy and Yetta were there." And anyways, saying, "Oh, you remember Sammy?" He says, "No, remember he helped you when you were choking on the chicken bone. He gave you the scotch."
No.
Oh, Sammy,
how are you?
Just when she mentions the scotch, and that triggers she's an alcoholic. Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Holiday alcoholism. Let's chalk that one up.
Oh, Raymundo and his coconut.
He may have a problem. Okay, so.
All right.
So,
Go
basically, here to surprise. Here to surprise Maxwell, I guess, but also like she's she has a double date. She's basically proposing kind of like Maxwell and Fran join her on like a blind date she's got going on here.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's trying to meet new people, I guess. Either her marriage didn't work out, and again, I barely know anything about this character, so I don't even know. So basically, she extends the invitation. Well, listen, why don't you join us? You and Maxwell, we're getting drinks tonight. Says, oh, which again might be a response because she is pregnant, by the way.
Yeah, that's very true. I didn't even.
No, Fran's fine. She says, "No, get it, Fran's fine." Sorry, Fran says no, rightfully. But I'm saying the fact this lady has this high society.
No, exactly. Like it's very short-sighted of her on her part.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh,
Anyways, basically, let's see. Fran here says, "Oh no, thanks, but no. This is going to be our first
I
night."
could possibly miss Hanukkah.
Yeah, it's going to be the
first night spending Hanukkah as a family.
And then Maxwell.
Oh, this is great timing.
The show, one of the best qualities of the show, they had fantastic comedic timing.
I can tell.
That was one of the best elements of the show. They had great Abbott and Costello-ish timing on gags. It was nice. So we got our first Hanukkah as a family, and then Maxwell walks by, I believe with some luggage, I could be wrong, says, yeah, I'm off to Boston.
Well, I'm going to Boston.
And then who delivers kind of our punchline getting us into the intro here? It's Sammy saying, oh, I hope that wasn't Maxwell. he does play blind in this show, too. So
I assume. Yeah.
They might have played like in the show, it's like he's near blind, but pretty much he's blind.
Okay, I'd say also maybe the family member going away on a business trip or preoccupied by business is kind of a trope.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so let's see. After the opening, nothing special there. Again, just kind of summarizes properly and really kind of jauntily the whole premise of the show, a little opening and animated. Not bad.
No, it's fine. It's cool.
So we see the manor and we see the mansion and we see that huge, beautiful looking tree. Let's chalk that up right now. Beautiful.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, no mention of the star on top, so we can't add that to the list.
Well, it's too tall. We can't see the tree.
I guess so. Yeah.
But still, seriously, that was an awesome looking tree. Anyway, so the house.
How funny would it have been to see Fran struggle to get the star on top of that huge tree, though? That would have been a funny scene.
I'm sure they might have.
I can't get the star on top of the tree.
They may have done that in the previous Christmas special. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. That explains it then.
I don't know. I wouldn't put that past her trying that though. So
I know. I wouldn't put it. I could totally imagine that.
That's the thing, because it sounds so familiar. It's like
I can't get the stop. That won't fit.
And just tumbles down, falls on CC. Maxwell! I'll get a block, says Niles. Okay, anyway, so then like Maxwell said, they're basically in the middle of a chat with Fran, say, okay, well, I'm going to Boston, and they said, well, what am I missing? And she's like basically trying to hint that Hanukkah's going. Says, can I get a hint? Ha, first letter, ha.
First letter's ha.
I'm sorry, can I get another hint? The second word's naka.
Naka.
So Hanukkah. Yeah. Anyway, so
well, we could just do it another night. But the first night is the most important.
Now Maxwell does make a compelling argument. Says, well, it is 8 nights after all.
No, but I also agree. I'm also
agree,
kind of on Fran's side that it's their first night as a family doing Hanukkah, and it's a really important tradition to her, and it's not like it's just any day of the year. There's a calendar date for this.
I mean, it's an understandable argument saying, well, I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, I'll be able to make up for it. But the first one's the one that counts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm a little bit more on Fran's side here.
I'm with her, too. I'm just saying, like, Maxwell's not just being like a heartless guy. So I don't think he's a Scrooge, but we'll get it.
I was going to bring that up. No, yeah. I don't. I
don't know. The Scrooges are getting harder towards the final stretch.
They are.
Especially the next one's going to be impossible to find out who the Scrooge is, by the way. I just want you to know that.
What, the Alf one?
Yeah, it's really hard to find the Scrooge.
Okay, well, let's just take a moment to think about it. So,
all right, okay, let's see. So Maxwell, he has an arc, though. So
he does have an arc. That's the thing.
Cece's grouchy. I'm trying to think if she really has an arc.
I don't think so. I think she just kind of...
Grouchy. I'm trying to think. Okay, beginning kind of lovingly grouchy. I'm trying to think if there's like an ending scene. But unfortunately, we got no reconciliation. It does bug me.
Yeah,
But,
Niles is
no, he's fine. He's
fine. I mean, I'm saying like he's a bit moody.
yeah, but I mean, he's
I think I'm gonna give it to Max. I think so, just because he has the most rounded arc.
I think I got something.
Okay.
What about Brighton? I mean, his only appearance in the episode shoots down Hanukkah.
But the problem is he doesn't really have an arc.
Is that the end? Do you remember at the end of the episode?
I mean, yeah, he is technically at the end. He's there, but
wait. Hold on a second. I think we got it. Okay, so he's bummed. He says, "No, I don't want to go do Hanukkah." And then at the end, they're all kind of happy-go-lucky, lighting the stuff. So I'm thinking,
all right, fine. I'll give it to you.
Okay,
right, well done.
Fine. How's it? Okay, I'll share this with you. So Brighton is our primary Scrooge. Maxwell's a technical Scrooge.
All right. Fair enough.
I'll meet you halfway on that. Okay. Sorry, folks. It's us doing in-house work right now.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, let's see. So again, it's a huge tree. They're chatting it out 8 days. The first one's most important. Anyway, so Max has got like a musical theater workshop to go to. That's why he's leaving until a little last minute. I had to. And he basically saying, "Well, why didn't you tell me this sort of thing? I told you last Wednesday during." It's like during the cross-gender, it's like Chicago Hope says, "Max, don't tell me anything while I'm watching cross-gender surgery."
I don't love this because it just goes to show you, like, this is a difficult woman. It really, I mean, lovingly difficult.
Yeah, she's adorable.
Because there's just, like, so many rules of, like, so many different times to not tell her things is established. All right.
Yep. Okay. Anyway, so we see Niles. Okay. So let me. Maybe I should shed some light on this for you.
I think you should. Yeah. That would be
okay. So again, Niles is one of my favorite characters. One of the most famous dynamics. I mean, it's kind of funny. When I say will they, won't they? We all knew Max and Fran are going to get together in the end. We know that.
It's kind of like almost sort of the base premise of the show.
Yeah, we know that one's just like jokingly people call it a will they, won't, because we know they're going to. Come on.
Right.
The real will they, won't they was actually between Niles and Cece. That was the actual.
Okay.
So the idea is, like in the first season, the whole thing was like Cece. She has it on hard for Max. She.
Oh boy.
She sticks around.
I kind of caught on to that dynamic. I kind of caught on.
And you get a hint of it.
Into Max.
That's the thing. So from the beginning of the show, Tiki, she was always like she's his business partner. Like she does the bookkeeping and stuff, but not like a separate.
Okay, I got it.
She
kind
also
of flashing back to me a little bit.
So
she flashing back.
Like she also puts money into the show. She's like a co-producer, that sort of role,
Like
they're both they're business partners, and then she sticks around. Her hope was like she would always kind of break through the widowed wall of Maxwell Sheffield and be in his life, a new woman in his life. And of course, Fran Fine walks in, and he was always her rival in that case. And like she would always try to say like, "Oh, that Nanny Fine, always making mistakes." Max basically trying to get Max's pants. Essentially, that's what she was trying to do. And they've made various jokes about that throughout the show. And basically, the wonderful hallmark running gag through the whole entire series is Niles shooting her down, always insulting her, just pointing out, you're trying to poo-poo our heroine. We're not going to let you do that.
Right.
Basically saying, I know you can't. Look, Fran Fine, wonderful character, wonderful, really nice lady. I'm not going to have you insult her. No, I'm going to insult you. That's essentially what Niles was. He always let to Nanny Fine's defense and always kind of put down Cece. And they always had, even before she entered the fray, always had a cantankerous relationship with Cece. He'd always put her down. Like they have wonderful insult humor with each other.
So how is it in any way a will they, won't they type thing?
I'm speeding through. Here's the last bit. I'm sorry. I don't mean to linger. It's just such a great dynamic.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Anyway, so basically throughout the show, it's like eventually Cece actually got more and more crazy through the show, which is hilarious. So again, as Fran and Max got closer and closer, you saw like Niles and her, they would still argue and stuff. And basically as Max and France, sometimes they would rarely call her Francie. I don't know why I'm jumping to that. Anyways, as Max and Fran would get closer, basically Cece realized it's more hopeless, and kind of oddly enough, the parallel was like Niles and Cece, as they argue, they realize, well, we're not really arguing over anything, but we're just arguing because it's a form of habit at this point. And they kind of attracted, like there were a few moments where like they would kiss drunkenly, or then they'd realize.
Okay, I got it.
Like basically, it always just plays out like towards the end. I think like this point forward, again last season. last season they got together at the end. At the very end of the
Yay!
show, they got together.
All right, cool.
And it was built there, and the idea, it's like, you tease the kid on the playground you like, that sort of thing. Like, you tease the person you like.
Oh boy, Arnold, Helga, the Ross and Rachel of our childhood.
Basically, if Arnold fought back more, that's how it would go. It's exactly.
Okay, I hear you.
Basically, if Arnold had more rapacious wit with Helga, that's exactly how to describe it.
All right, well, I definitely knew that was going to be the thing that required the most backstory this episode.
And at this point, it's like to the point where they've done it for so many years, just insulting each other, to the point where just so lovingly, they were around the holidays, and they always loved to insult each other. It's like not the same if the other one's not around. So it's a love. I think Seth MacFarlane said it best. In his actual quote, he says, "People just bond so well over hate." And they do in this case. They love hating each other so much. It's so romantic yet twisted at the same time.
All right,
so Niles is upset and just like a spouse, just saying, "Oh, but you're not going to be here. We've never spent the holidays apart." It's just hilarious. And it's like their tradition. They've never been apart like this. And then she's saying, "Well, look, just if you come with anything insulting, basically if you come with anything mean or insulting, just leave it on my message. I'll check it and get back to you." It's just so adorable, I thought. And it's so sweet that these two hate each other so lovingly, and eventually that turns into real love.
Yeah, they're just hate you more.
Oh, that to me, I thought that was the sweetest moment. Just you're saying I hate each other is the most loving.
Of course, as someone who who didn't know this dynamic really, I was kind of left what the hell is going on
And again,
here?
Because Niles is the best part of the show, these two together, that's why it's the best part. I
hear you.
Anyway, so then just showing, again, such a fascinating dynamic. Forget Max and Fran. We know they're getting together. These two are always the ones they won't they? So
Max and Fran were like the Chandler and Monica.
Yeah, basically it's like Genie and then the Master. It's like they're always gonna, they want each other badly, and eventually you're gonna get together. That's how it goes. For Max and Fran, that's how it goes. Right. Anyway, so then some loving barbs, final loving barbs at each other. It's like, don't forget to wear a scarf. Well, it's not gonna be cold. I know, but it's that old. Hate you. Oh, hate you more. And. Okay, let's see. So, then Max and Fran say goodbye, kind of a loving goodbye pickup, which I thought was kind of cute. Just picking her up. Yeah. Yeah,
and I think in that respect, I don't really think you can consider him a Scrooge because he is very loving about the whole situation.
Nice, and he has a fan art. It's like he told her about it, so he's not in the wrong at all.
That's very okay. Good point.
Also, they mention saying, "Well, at least I'll have the whole family here." Then Gracie, Gracie's the youngest one. She's my favorite of the kids. They had really good kid actors in this series, and they let them grow up. So that was a great part of the show. And this is them in their final. This is eventually who they become. So Gracie's going, I believe, to college. Either schools overseas. She looks kind of high schoolish, but she might have been going to college for all I know. I can't remember. Might have been looking forward to college. I don't know, but let's just say high school. I don't know. So the point is Gracie's going. That's it's what? Another member of my.
He's going.
And Gracie was kind of the big one that kind of, in the first place, bonded her to the family. Gracie was because she was the one who needed the nanny.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
All the kids needed her, but Gracie was the youngest. So and actually, Tiki, you really gotta watch the show while I'm talking about it. It's just. Gracie was she had kind of psychological issues at the beginning of the show, and it was she had a little residual depression over her mother leaving. Well, not leaving, but dying. Mm-hmm. And basically, Frank she had imaginary friends and stuff, and Frank kind of helped her work. Fran was her friend.
So she's basically kind of the emotional core of the series at least in terms of the kids.
Yeah, and to me, always the most adorable. And I also love the oldest one too. And the oldest one's on Gotham, by the way. She was in the first season of Gotham. She played Loeb's crazy daughter.
God. All right, fair enough.
Anyway, so basically Gracie's going on, it's oh, not Gracie.
Right, yeah, that's definitely a hit. It's no, she's the one I have the most character development with.
And then she's saying, well, why didn't you tell me this? Well, we told you. Don't tell me stuff while I'm making pancakes.
Well, no, they were eating Chinese food, and so she's like, "Don't be telling me stuff when I'm making mushy pancakes."
Right, sorry, yeah, I wrote that wrong.
The joke is that she basically like eats Chinese food like a child.
Yeah, that's what I. Yeah. Okay,
Right.
then this is no Gracie. And then Maggie comes, and Maggie's the one who's on Gotham. It's the oldest sister.
All right.
She's the oldest of the kids, and she comes down, and I got to talk up the show. It's such a great show. It's just that she even gets married on the show, and then, that's the end to Barbara Streisand because the guy's aunt or something is relative is Barbara Streisand, and Fran idolizes Barbara Streisand.
Okay.
She goes nuts over it.
Oh dear.
Anyway, and it's like when she in this season when she delivers the baby, Barbara Streisand is singing at the wedding and she can't be there, and
oh shoot!
It's like an I Love Lucy kind of situation where she like sneaks out of the hospital to go see Barbara, and she misses her just by.
Oh dear.
Anyway, so Maggie says, "No, you can't go." Unfortunately, not a lot of Maggie in this episode, which kind of bums me out because I really like.
She's literally like the Chuck of the episode. It's like she goes down for the sweater, and then she grabs the sweater, and then she goes up, and she's gone.
Yeah, she's gone. Yeah, you're not going with my sweater. Takes the sweater away.
It's like at first, Fran's like, "Well, I'm glad someone's on my side,"
and says, "You're not leaving, not with my sweater." And then she leaves.
All right.
And then we get a touching bit, most touching bit. What is just they say. Niles and Cece say goodbye to each other. It's like the most depressed, most sweet looking. just Cece going bye, and then Niles, he takes I want to say a hanky, not a tissue, but it's like a tissue or a hanky. Hopefully a hanky. Takes a hanky, sprays with like disinfectant or like cleaning supplies because that's how they know each other. She always insults him being the cleaning up butler,
Sure.
And basically gives it to her, and she smells it. Which at first I thought they were gonna do like a chloroform gag.
Oh God! Well, that got dark.
No, it's like she accidentally it's a little dizzy. She doesn't realize she's sniffing.
Oh, okay, I hear you.
But no, seriously, she smells and it's like, oh, I'll think of you. Just they say bye to each other, and like, oh, I want these two kids to get together. That's what I want.
I love how he's just pining at the door for her when she leaves.
And she's literally pining for him now.
Right.
Get it? Cleaning supplies.
Oh. If I may go into an Adventure Blue Dude sarcastic laugh. All right, I'm sorry.
At least it wasn't Norman Bates reacting to Peter Pan.
Norman Bates reacting to Peter Pan?
Seriously, you don't understand?
No, I don't even remember that.
Peter Pan never got to have sex.
Oh God.
Forget it.
All right, yeah, forget it.
Oy.
Wow, that just brought this to a.
You're bumming me out with you not knowing that reference. I want you to know that. Really want you to. Anyway, so next scene. So what do we get?
We do a lot of podcasts, man. I'm sorry.
But it was Bates mode. I forget.
All right. Anyways, what's going on?
I'm bummed out. Take us through the next scene.
Is the next scene the flashback? No. I'm sorry.
No.
It's not. Okay, so Fran, she's pouring tea and she's upset that Max isn't here. And then one of the two women, she's like, well, you see, your problem is you don't know how to keep your man at home.
That's her mother.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know
your mother's
differentiation.
Yeah, her mother Sylvia. One's senile, one's just eats a lot.
Okay.
Also, I'm sorry, like Niles' line was hilarious. It was like, bye, kiddo. Then gives you the hanky. Just bye, kiddo. I love that. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, the women are talking, they're chatting here and saying, I gave your man at home. And then Yetta says, Yetta kind of relates to the story, saying, I made latkes for my husband for 30 years after he left. Says, Yetta, he's been dead for 30 years. Oh, that's why, because I thought it was my cooking.
Oh, God. Yeah, you're right. That is pretty senile. All right, so Fran, her whole thing is she wants to continue the tradition she was raised with. Because I always loved Hanukkah as a kid.
And then we have our first flashback. Now,
Oh,
Tiki, this
I
actually.
love the way that this is set up.
Now, actually, Tiki, here's a fun fact. They for this particular, whenever you flash back to Fran's childhood, they always have the gag that Fran Drescher plays the young version of her mother, who's on the couch. But again, the one who always wants to eat the big curly hair says like, she's been on diet. That's it. That's her mother. So
Sure.
it's basically whenever they do they do this a couple times in the series. Whenever they flash back to young Fran, they have like the little girl play Fran, and they have. Sometimes they actually have like girls from the show play the characters. So it's like sometimes sometimes Maggie plays Gary. Most times Gracie plays young Fran. Most of the time, but now she's grown older, so they couldn't do that. But point is, it's Fran playing her mother. That's like a fun running gag when they flash back to I want to say the 70s, but probably no, not the 70s.
It definitely looks like the 70s to me.
Oh, it can't be the 70s. It's got to be like the 60s, I guess.
Could it maybe like late 60s? I want to say like 67, 68, something like that.
Let's see, 90s. She always says she's 20, like in her 20s, but she's actually probably like in her 30s. Let's see, 30, get back to 20. Maybe late 60s, sure.
Okay.
Anyway, so what's going on? Take us through. I know you like this part.
Well, first of all, I just love the line, and just props to the kid actress here because she nails a Fran Drescher delivery.
So Sylvia and Fran, by the way, just Sylvia Fran. Basically, Sylvia, I love how she's like young Sylvia. She's screwing in light bulbs on the menorah. I love how it's like it's a light bulb, the menorah. I think it's such a cool little thing. That's like they couldn't light the menorah. It's just their lights for the menorah.
So young Fran, she's just like, why can't we have a Christmas tree? So again, the actress just nails the whole enunciated drawl that Fran Drescher has.
Yeah.
And also, I might add, I think the Jewish kid being excluded on the holidays and pining for Christmas, that's also kind of a trope unto itself.
Okay, yeah.
I've seen it on South Park. I think South Park's kind of the main example I can think of offhand.
For a moment, I thought you were referring to Ted, but no.
Oh, God.
And then the neighborhood kids would gang up to beat up the Jewish kid.
Oh, no.
Only Patrick Stewart could deliver that without being offensive.
He delivered that line with dignity.
He did. Okay, anyway.
All right.
Okay, anyway, so then she, again, I love how Fran Drescher plays the young version of her mother. By the way, just like so mad, just like such the fun the look on her face when she delivers these lines is priceless. She's saying, "Because we celebrate Hanukkah, Franny."
I love how she's like, looks like she's like rapidly chewing on a piece of gum.
Yeah, that's the thing. It just plays like, and the idea is like, again, the mother ate a lot through her lifetime, so maybe that's it too. It's just like chewing gum and just like saying, so we don't have a parade. You know, like, we don't even have a born parade.
Well, after all the walking we did in the desert, we like to sit on the holidays.
I wonder if Jewish people like this show.
I don't know. That Monkey?
That's the thing.
You're watching?
This is why we.
Like, is that offensive or not?
To me, I mean, look, I can't judge it, bro, because I'm not Jewish. But I mean, to me,
right.
I think it's funny. I think it's in good fun because I'm not always saying being Jewish is bad. I'm just saying that's kind of fun.
I think it's in good fun because she's just such a likable character.
I mean, it's not like it didn't happen. They walk a while. I'm just calling you the reference. I think it's funny. I'm not saying people do get offended. I'm just questioning. I just kind of don't nowadays. Kind of wonder what everyone's getting offended by everything these days. Got to wonder. Man, I wonder if the Nanny's Jewish jokes actually offended anyone.
Well, like I said, Monkey, if you're watching us, please enlighten us in the comments. That would be wonderful.
Yeah. To me, I think they're fun, but I can't judge it. So.
Right.
Okay. Anyway. So they say get a desert line. Anything else particularly you can recall?
I don't. Not that I can think of.
Except
she's like. Well, like, this is going to be the first holiday that the family's not together. Oh, sweetie, that's your gift.
No, before that, it was like Yetta walks in, a vaguely younger version of Yetta. It's still pretty old. Just walks and says, "Don't touch these lockers. They're for Grandpa." Now, I think the subtle gag is Grandpa dead at this point?
Right.
I think in theory, Grandpa's dead at this point. She's still making lockers. think that's. They just go, well, not even, the whole family's not even here for Hanukkah. So that's your present, and this is this cute little.
I love like the sweet like Hallmark moment that it fades out.
It's like, yeah, families are a pain around the holidays. Hey, there's a trope. Hey, family annoyances around the holidays. All right, yeah, we're building momentum. It's not even Christmas. It's not even a Christmas episode. We're building.
I know,
momentum.
right?
All right. Okay, so let's see. So now we're in the present. I guess like Fran says she wants to have traditions with her new family. Have some good new traditions with her family. And then Jocelyn, again, Jocelyn is Max's sister, who again not memorable at all, except for her alcoholism.
Except this is like her one bit where she's funny.
She's a boozer. That's all we got for her, really.
Right. Character development.
Yes. Okay, says, I'm sorry, you want to take us through the funny bit?
Sure. So she, oh, Jocelyn, I thought you were out on your date. Oh, well, turns out she had he was married and had 3 kids and a mistress. Well, you seem like you're taking this quite well. Oh, no. I'm crushed. Utterly destroyed.
Yeah.
This is you being destroyed? Yes, I apologize for making a scene. Now, let me just say, if I could be that composed every time something like that happened to me, I would be living a very happy life. Anyways.
All right, let's see. So now I believe we see Max, Cece, and Grace in the car. So this is like kind of another not a box episode per se. I'm just saying it's kind of like a nice little box. They do this a lot of times in the show. They have like kind of a nice little boxed-in setup with characters in it. It's not like they didn't invent it. Like we've seen in Seinfeld, we've seen it like all over the place. But it's always kind of nice to see them do this sort of thing. Where it's like kind of a closed-off car scene like that.
I always, you know what one of my favorite sitcom tropes is the stuck inside the ice freezer. I love that. Like every time you do that, it's priceless.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really hear many people say they love. There's a Big Bang Theory has an ice freezer episode.
I love it. I love the ice freezer episodes every time. I could do a whole series on ice freezer episodes.
Yeah, Kenan and Kel had one. Kenan and Kel had
Kenan and Kel was great.
Yeah, their one was hilarious because it was like, that's something else, but still it was really funny though. Yeah, I'm thinking like the one where like Tyra orders like the big old dish, the ice cream deed, and basically buy some time for Kenan and Kel to come up with the scheme.
Right. Ice freezer episodes I think are some of the best like bottle episodes of sitcoms in my opinion. I'm a big fan of them.
Yeah, what about just kind of with that, like just in general, this is like so similar to the ice thing episode. Do you like the locking door episode?
Yeah, anything where characters are trapped somewhere for some reason.
There's another one
because it's characters in desperate situations. And
for the nanny, there's a big famous one early on where it's like early in the show. It's Cece and Fran. They're locked in like a wine cellar together, and basically Cece's kind of driven mad by Fran being in the room.
Oh no!
And to the point where like they're talking about Max because they both pine over him. Basically, she ends up doing Cece's hair.
Oh no!
But also, I mentioned Cece kind of losing her mind. I mean, she literally does get committed at one point because in real life she was pregnant, so they need to get her out of the show for a little bit.
Oh, and that's a classy way to do it.
And the idea, once she came back, says they had to shoot some episodes with her pregnant, the classic thing, and they did fourth wall meta jokes like about her, them covering up the fact that she's pregnant. Like, oh, it's like, I hate in shows where they always cover up the actress being pregnant. She's all this stuff in front of her while she's saying it.
Exactly.
Anyways, like also they actually wrote like a physical bit in there, like because she was at the asylum, she's put on a little weight because she's still working out the baby weight. And like just Niles is mocking her for it and stuff, and like trying to edge her towards madness and eating more.
Oh no!
Because just the minute Maxwell proposed to Fran, that's when she lost her mind.
All right, so we kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent.
But it's still nanny related. Okay, anyway, so the three of them in a car. And then they're lost, looking for Gracie's school, which Cece none too pleased about because that's not even why they're there in the first place. And again, so Cece, one, she's not happy because she doesn't like being away from Niles. She won't admit that, but she doesn't like being away from Niles. Sure. Two, it's like kind of like a last-minute trip. She's not too crazy about. Third, it's and this is actually a running gag through the show, which is always kind of funny. They keep consistency. That Gracie always kind of throws up on Cece. You never see it happen because it's a tasteful show, but it's always the gag that Gracie gets like motion sickness, and basically Niles always sees to it that Gracie eats like a full meal before she goes traveling with Cece. It's like he like packed her an egg salad sandwich to go on a plane ride with. They can be so cruel to each other sometimes. Anyway, so it's like apparently Gracie threw up on her during the trip. So like, and she turned around to tell me she was carsick. Then she proceeded to get carsick on me.
Oh freaking ho!
Yep, oh freaking ho. So Cece, the reason Cece and Max never got together because Cece has no patience for the kids. That's why she could never end up with Max.
Exactly.
And then I love this. So again, Gracie always makes great sense with Gracie because she's a character that, again, as I mentioned, like she as a kid she saw therapists and she actually had some psychological issues, and it's kind of fun going full circle and seeing her play therapist.
Yeah, you're turning me onto the show in a way.
So anyway, so Gracie, in a fun thing here, it's like Gracie saying, Miss Babcock, I think you miss Niles. Do not. So do. She goes back for like.
I gotta say, I thought this gag was a little. I thought it was a little obnoxious.
I'm saying when they did the second time, that's when it won me over. It was like, yeah, that's funny.
When they did it a second time, I didn't. That's when it lost me. But I don't know. I guess that's just a taste thing when it came.
Yeah, it's a subjective humor thing. I
guess so.
So then
it just kind of got a little repetitive.
It's only twice though. It doesn't come back right. Anyway, so then Maxwell says, "Okay, knock it off. You sound like children." Anyway, then this Gracie comes in saying, "Hey, Dad, I think I know why I think I know what's wrong with you. You feel guilty about leaving Fran on Hanukkah." Just do not. So do. They get into the argument.
No, I've always learned that business comes first, even around the holidays.
And then we get the best Gallivant-ish flashback of the whole episode.
It totally is. This is where I questioned if Gallivant watched this and it was inspired.
And so this is the reason. Tiki, full honesty, in addition to just the flashbacks joke, because I love the ending flashback too, but this is the real reason I'm watching. This is my favorite episode.
All right, this 45 seconds.
Well, this is just the flashback.
45 seconds of screen time, folks.
So, we got Max sitting across from his father, who was played by Charles Slattery, the guy who plays.
I figured.
You hear in the voice too. I think it's a great thing with the flashbacks how they have the actors play the parental versions of themselves.
I like how you don't see his face though.
I know, it's so great too. It's like and we actually do see Maxwell's like grown-up father in the show. So it's like a nice little suspension of disbelief. It's in the past.
Yeah, of course, right.
Anyway, so Max again, he's British and with the high society family, and like I guess not the most touchy-feely. I joked about this. It's like a Batman-style dinner scene.
Oh, it totally is. I knew you'd go.
Like the long table. It's like, hey, Father, what? Father, you know what I like most about Christmas? My favorite thing about the holidays is having the family all together. And you see no one else is around there. And again, whether you know the show or not, it's like the fact that it's all together. Two of them, but he also has brothers and sisters. And we see, I think that's the only reason the sisters in the episode to illustrate this point, I think.
I guess so.
Otherwise, she's completely pointless, and this is the only reason she's in the episode, I'm convinced. Just to remind people like yourself, people who aren't too familiar with the show, oh, wait, he has family.
Sure.
Anyway, so...
the father's like, well, what's your second favorite thing?
Yeah, this is so sad yet hilarious. It's just that, again, his father means well, but he's a business coming before family. What's your second favorite thing? Spending time with you, Father.
I love the delivery on this. He's just like, all right, well, let's say you had a third favorite.
Oh, again, it's so sad yet hilarious. And then this moment, again, it just shows you, like, I love seeing, that's one of the great things of the show, ultimately. You get to see kind of the cogs turning in the wheels here. That's like what made Maxwell the way he is in this flashback. I really like that. It's good storytelling through comedy. And it's just like you see, it's a little twinges of sadness with a lot of humor.
Sure.
It's just this idea of just like them saying, it's like the poor British child, just like looking, just looking like he wants to please his father, but he doesn't. He's not happy about the situation, which is endearing. So he's saying, "Well, son, it's just a holiday, son, and business is business." Again, putting the lesson in Max's head, it's gonna be with him to this day. And the poor kid, you feel bad for him. And he says, "Why don't you play with that butler, son?" Niles, come over here, and it's Niles. And the first time I saw this episode, way back when, I lost it when I saw this kid. 'Cause I thought, this is the perfect casting ever. First of all, now that I think about it, it's exactly like Alvin. Because remember Richard was a chubby kid.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed funnier. So the point is, it's a chubby, adorable version of Niles the butler. He says, just like talking to him, he said, "What do you want to be?" He says, "Oh, well, I want to be when I grow up, I want to be a barista or a barista." Basically, it's not a barista like coffee, but it's like I looked it up. I had a hard time looking this up. The best I could figure, Tiki, I think it's like it's a crossbow sport, like a big
Okay.
Basically, a big. I could be entirely wrong because I could not.
The point is, he wants to own his own estate and have his own staff. That's what he's getting at.
Have his own staff. Being a career of prominence, it sounds a lot like barista.
And then this kid just absolutely freaking cracks me up with this. He's just like, he's so amused. He's just, oh, Paris. Oh, yes, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, just
like that instantly cheers him up. That instantly cheers him up. Oh, that's good.
That's their relationship when it really boils down to the idea is that Max and Niles, they care about each other. It's not exactly an Alfred Bruce Wayne situation, but it's like they're basically what if Alfred and Bruce Wayne took shots at each other all the time? That's essentially it.
That'd be a fun dynamic to write.
Yeah, and it's
That'd
basically
be a fun twist on the Alfred and Bruce Wayne dynamic.
And the funny running gag throughout the series is that Niles, more than any of the fans of the show, he's the one who wants to get Fran and Max together more than anyone in the show. That's the running gag.
Okay.
That's another reason why we love Niles, because again, he's keeping CC out of the equation, and he wants these two to get together. But the problem is they're too thick-headed to get together at the end of the day. Like it's always the episodes kind of pan out of like Fran wants to impress Max and Niles helps her out, but he still mocks her when she's failing at times, but he helps her out. And basically he tries to get it through Max's thick skull. You love this woman.
Right.
Just Max is too dense, and he always just makes fun of his boss for not picking up on it.
All right.
And anyway, so then that's their dynamic, and that's what kind of represented in youth, and I thought it was hilarious. So like, just Max always at times will mock, many times he'll mock Niles just for being the butler. Even though Niles is the smartest guy in the room, kind of the sardonic Squidward role of the series.
But not nearly as torturous.
Oh god, no. But seriously, he's a little bit like early Squidward though. It was like the guy who's like saying, "Oh my life, it's not the way I thought it was going to be." And again, Fran.
No, I can totally see that. Yeah.
And Fran was like the glimmer.
He's obviously more sophisticated than anyone else.
Certainly, and like Fran,
no one else appreciates him for his sophistication.
Of course, and like Fran's like the glimmer of hope. They kind of just said, "Hey, there's something funny." Tell you what, SpongeBob was actually beloved by Squidward, pretty much.
Oh God!
Essentially,
that'd be a very different show.
Yeah. It's basically you give me trouble.
I can't even imagine that. That's just like an alternate universe.
It's like what if Superman and Lex Luthor were drinking pals?
Oh God! Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor.
Sure, and he would have all the dirty jokes at the bar, like Superman would be cracking up. Oh, Lex, I like you. Not like I liked you in Smallville, but I like you.
Oh God.
Anyway, sorry. Okay.
Now I'm just imagining a drunken Jesse Eisenberg. Red capes, Superman. You have a red cape. It's not just coming. It's here. The red cape is here.
You see, there's the guy in the black cape, and there's the guy in the red cape. It's like the red capes are coming, the red capes are coming. What happens next?
Okay.
Is that... Okay. Anyway. This bit of tangent is brought to you by the Tubaphone. That is spelled T-U-B. Okay.
Hold on.
So, what we got?
All right, so Max, he decides he wants to go back.
Now, this moment I thought was really kind of the heart of the special here. I thought this... It just shows you Maxwell... thick-headed as he can be to relationships, but now we're in season 6. Now he's gotten everything he wants in life, and now he's just like, I want to go back. And he realized he's done Fran wrong. He realized that I don't want to emulate the Christmas of my youth. I want to do the holidays right, with the people I love. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to disappoint anyone. I don't want to disappoint her like that young Maxwell Sheffield felt when he was an amazing kid. I thought that was sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I love the delivery on him. It's like such a kind of not like a somber delivery, but like such an honest, earnest delivery. You know what I mean? It's like I want to go home.
Totally.
It's so nice. So it's a holiday moment right there. It's a hallmarky holiday moment.
All right, so Niles is offering Fran some sweets, and she's like, "Oh, I'm too depressed to eat." Well, would you like me to take it back to? No, put it down in case I have a mood swing.
Before we got to that scene, too, it was like try to reach him on the car phone, and Grace says, "Miss Babcock, you don't feeling sick? Roll down the window." Sorry, yeah. So then we get to the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for ruining the timing of that gag. I'm sorry, I'm being mean.
Dun, 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 dun. This is the Martin and Lewis moment, folks. This is the John Christopher Lucy. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. We're all fine here. Anyway, so yeah, the punchline was still there. Leaves the chocolates. Says, "Oh, well, I'll get to it later."
Oh, no. Put it down on my half mood swing. Yeah, that's a gag.
Yes.
Moving on.
And then, okay, remember, Sylvia's across here. This is a funny gag in itself. You want to take us through it?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so Sylvia, maybe you got it too, but Sylvia's across as the chocolate thing's put down there and says, "Oh, keep it away from me, though. I've lost 30 pounds." And she had lost weight. I'm going to say I believe it's like cosmetic loss weight, like it was like surgery.
Botox or whatnot.
Yeah, like a liposuction type.
Lipo, yeah, right.
I believe that's what it was, because she lost like a tremendous amount of weight. I don't know. She might have worked out. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so basically she lost 30 pounds, and they were addressing it in the show, and she's, "Oh, don't look at me, I've lost 30 pounds. And then Niles saying, "I'd like to do that too, but I don't know how to kill my own appetite." I says, "Well, you know what I do, Niles?" And again, this is the best part about their dynamic, Tiki, is that Niles is always, he's the butler, he makes the food, he's the gourmet in the family. They don't have a chef, just Niles does everything.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, whenever Sylvia, it's not like an annoying mother-in-law at all. It's just basically kind of the wonderful Jewish mother stereotype, but in a good way. But in addition to that, though, her character, not arc, but her character running gag is that she's always eating, and basically she's always a burden on Niles. But Niles likes her, though. He's like, "Oh, yeah, Sylvia." Like, he's nice to her, though.
Mm-hmm.
She's always the burden asking for food. Says, I smell toast, but I don't have anything cooking, Sylvia. I want to smell toast. Something like that. And she's always over. That's how she's intrusive in that she wants to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so this is what I do. I look in the mirror, stark naked. Thank you. And now he knows. Now his appetite has been killed. And then Val. Okay, so it's not. I'm sorry. It's not Yetta. It's Val. So you probably want me to tell you who Val is.
Oh God, just keep down the explanations. I'm kind of getting pummeled with exposition here. I'm sorry.
It's the last one. It's just Val is just Fran's New York friend. That's all.
That's what I figured. All right. Moving on.
Like since childhood. That's all. She's always been around. She's in flashbacks too. That's all.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be.
And she's very ditzy. That's the gag. She's very ditzy. That's all. So,
okay. Well, she does have some funny moments coming up.
Yeah, so her gag is like saying, "Well, I tried that diet where I'd have 2 shakes a day. Doesn't that get expensive?" "No, they come free with the Happy Meal."
It's funny because that's not the shake that makes you lose weight at all.
Oh, holiday fun. Okay, so why hasn't Max called yet?
Well,
that's what Fran's thinking.
Right. I thought you were like posing that question to me. I was like, well, I don't know.
so Fran's worried. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so she's worried, and she's she's just getting herself into a nervous wreck. She's like, "Oh, I should have been too. Maybe I wasn't very understanding. I should have been more understanding."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, be strong, and also mentions like snacks. Be strong about snacks.
Just like I need to be strong because that arugula is looking very bubbly right about now. Or buttery, I'm sorry, buttery.
Basically, it's like telling Fran, "Be strong." He said, "No, I'm not talking to you. Be strong. Don't eat the snacks."
Okay, so then Max calls, and she's like, "Oh, it's Max.
Yay, but it's a bad connection.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And they're breaking up.
Do you mean the phone reception, don't you? She's just so hung up on that.
Yeah, because the marriage was a big deal within the show, because always the big really is with the whole Jewish thing. It's like always wanted to marry off the always wanted to marry off the daughter before it's too late for grandchildren. That's always the gag. And
Right.
the mother was always pushing her. Why don't you get married to you're living in the man's house? Get married.
Exactly.
And again, yeah, I believe Yetta got married before Fran, which made it all the more sad. Okay, anyway, so then as we're on the phone, we hear a car accident. This is kind of scary when you think about it, is the way this plays.
It is. Like, I would be a freaking nervous wreck, man. I would be going nuts. I would be pulling my goddamn hair out if this happened to a family.
Thankfully, this didn't go the MASH route. Thankfully, it did not go the MASH route.
I don't know what the MASH route is, but
MASH route is just negative stuff happening, especially around the holiday times.
Well, maybe that'll be another holiday special we'll explore in the future.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd be on there for that one. But the point is like, MASH would probably like let them. Okay, they die, and let's lament about it. That's pretty much
Exactly.
They died over the phone, and then we lament about it. Maybe have a funeral at the end.
Maybe have a few jokes.
Yeah, well, of course they have jokes, and like Alan Alda delivering some hilarious banter, but also some dramatic readings. And it's like, I'm mixed on this.
That's MASH in a nutshell. Exactly.
Okay, anyway, so car accident, bum. No.
Oh no.
So then we see, okay, what's going on? So they're trapped in a snowbank. There's a bad blizzard going on. Sorry, not that we don't see them in the snowbank quite, but like we hear there's a bad blizzard going on.
Mm-hmm.
And Niles is on the phone, and this is hilarious. Again, Niles, again, he's not in the whole episode as much as I like him to be. He delivers some great one-liners, as he should. Saying, he's on the phone saying, like talking to the people as friends, and they say there's a bad blizzard going on. He takes the phone and he says, now listen, there are two people in that car I love, and one person I have a complicated relationship with. Find them. And really, Niles taking charge.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, he's usually kind of like the kind of lovable coward, but good for Niles taking charge.
Kind of reminds me of Jarvis taking charge in a way.
Yeah, he's in
All right. Anyways, so Fran, she's getting into an absolute panic about it, and then she switches gears as soon as she sees the kids.
Yeah, putting on a strong front for the kids.
Man.
The minute they leave, she breaks down. They're dead.
Okay, you know what? I will give I'm sorry. What's the name of the boy?
Name of the what?
The boy, the kid.
Brighton,
yeah. I will give him some credit. This was kind of a funny gag with him. She's like, this was a good delivery. She just kind of goes off and chants like, oh, of course your father will be all right because, the story about the Hanukkah candle lasting for 8 days. Brighton, I do like this delivery. Brighton.
This is funny.
Fran, I have no idea why you just told me that.
That is pretty funny, yeah. And
all right.
I love her consoling, also like Maggie saying, oh, I tried to take away, at least they call back the sweater gag. Oh, I tried taking her sweater, oh. Yeah, I love that she regrets the sweater a bit. Yeah, it's kind of funny. And I love her advice, like, get some vegetable soup.
Niles made vegetable soup. Everything's gonna be fine.
And the minute they leave, she turns around.
As you mentioned, very good comedic timing. Very good comedic timing. They're gonna die. They're going to die.
She has very Lucille Ball-esque timing. She has
okay, I see where you're coming from with that, for sure.
Okay, anyway, so let's see. So, okay, then we have like this alcohol fun fact coming from our resident drunk, not Foster Brooks, but Max's sister here, saying, like fun fact here. Do you know if you have more alcohol you have in your body, the quicker you'll get cold?
CC.
And they're worried about Miss Babcock. But again, of course, Niles is worried because he loves this woman, whether he admits it or not.
And that, friends, is another tip from Combat Carl. Stay in school.
And cough in the arm.
Cough in the arm.
Stay in school. Okay, so we see the three
Don't drink a lot of alcohol to go out cold.
Dean Martin, stay indoors, please. So the three of them. So our three characters are trapped in the car during the blizzard. Not a good situation at all.
No, especially because they don't have a pet monkey that they can sacrifice.
No.
Yeah. All right, that's all. That's my one. All right, that's my one.
Okay.
You have to give it to me because they're trapped. All right, it's the exact same setup. That's my one. Moving on.
All right.
Let's get it out of my system.
All right, it was in the glove compartment. Moving on. So, okay, so let's see. So, Max is not. Basically, you're gonna be okay, darling. And then says, I think he was talking to me. Like Cece's like, oh, he's calling me darling. He says, no, he's talking to me. Well, I didn't hear it that way. Okay, then they're trying to call, but the phone's dead, so no go there. And then
she suggests that she go in the back seat, or Max go in the back seat with her.
And Gracie go out and play.
Blizzard outside. Blizzard went to Wonderland, same difference.
So again, that's how she just really has no care whatsoever about these children.
Right. I hear you.
There's actually this hilarious episode where Niles, just to mess around with Cece, what he does through the episode, he pastes a picture of Macaulay Culkin on a family picture, like all the kids, and basically Cece sees it, and she thinks, he's familiar, and then basically saying, oh yeah, he's your favorite. And basically, they go to a movie, or they go to the theater or something. Pretty much they come back, and basically he makes Cece think that you forgot him, and basically she was tasked with watching the children. Pretty bad because she thinks she's forgotten her favorite one.
Oh no.
It's hilarious.
No, not Macaulay.
Yep, it's not Macaulay.
Oh god. I hope it wasn't Party Monster Macaulay Culkin.
I have no idea.
I hope it wasn't adult Macaulay Culkin.
I want to say Home Alone Macaulay Culkin, but I could be wrong.
Right,
Anyway, so let's see. So then so we're stuck in the Winter Wonderland, same difference. Okay, so then Max is pointing out, okay, well, it looks like we have enough gas and power in the car for an hour. So keep the heater on and everything will be good for about an hour by my estimation. By his estimation. Again, anyway, so they try to kind of a sweet moment. It's kind of like this distraction they got going on about like all is calm. Da, 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 da. They're singing Silent Night to each other.
Yeah.
Oh. Actually, it's even funnier. It's like Cece says something like trying to seduce Max, I guess, and then she says all is. She transitions into the song just to distract from what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, let's see. So we got Fran. Fran's waiting outside in the cold. She's basically waiting for him. She's kind of riding out the cold, waiting for him.
Yeah, and it's like I can appreciate that because, like I said, if I was in that situation, I would be going crazy. I would be like pulling my hair out. It would be bad. It would be bad. So I can relate. I can be like, no, I don't want to be inside. I have to be outside. I have to be here when they get here. All right, anyways.
And again, Fran, it's not just like she just wants the two people to come back. Man, she cares about Miss Babcock, too. It's like, she likes these people. She just wants anything bad happen to her. She loves Max. She loves Gracie. She likes Miss Babcock.
But on the other hand, if one of them had to resort to cannibalism, Miss Babcock would be a good choice.
Of course.
I'm sorry.
Well, again, don't worry. They have Darwin in the glove compartment.
Yeah. It's all
fine.
It's okay.
They're fine.
It's like Nigel Thornberry sent some of Darwin to Chucky. He sent some to. Oh God. We're going down the rabbit hole again.
And you see what they did was because the Sheffields are well off. They had Niles prepare it, so it's like kind of in a rose shape.
Oh no.
So it's prepared very classy. It has a nice little
Excuse me, sir. Mr. Nigel Thornberry gave you just in case your car crashed out and you needed sustenance.
Niles, do that thing where you prepare it like a rose, please. Just carve it up properly for me. And I might have company. Make a few of them, please. Thank you.
Down the rabbit hole we go, folks.
Okay, now we're out of the rabbit hole. We shoveled dirt onto the rabbit hole. Hopefully we won't go down it again, but then again we could go the Bruce Wayne route and fall down and just be worse off.
It all depends if we have characters in desperate situations or not. That's where we get Darwin involved.
Just promise me you won't do it for All in the Family. Come
Okay,
on.
I'll make a promise there. I'll make a promise there because it's a very serious episode. All right.
Okay, okay.
I'll give you a Christmas truce.
All right. Christmas truce. You know, we're not firing. The Nazis aren't firing us. We're not firing the Nazis this time around.
But seriously, dude, is there some sort of situation like that in All in the Family?
Well, I think just the premise of the episode is kind of dire.
Well, no, but I'm saying there's a difference between that kind of dire and like being stranded out in the wilderness kind of dire. Being stranded out in the wilderness is where we get Darwin involved.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of worry in the air, but okay, fair enough, I guess.
Like, a lot of worry, but look, I'm saying no one's going to have to resort to eating anyone else. That's
Okay.
my criteria.
I don't think that's going to happen, but
I don't think I have to spell it out for you, but apparently I do.
I'm just saying you said dire situation. That's a dire situation, I
You
would
know
think.
what I mean by a dire situation.
Well, now you could have just said with a stranded situation.
All right. We're spending way too much time on
Right. So, again, so Fran's outside, just kind of recounting some good memories.
Mhm.
Like saying, oh, yeah, meeting the kid. Is he meeting everyone? The wedding, the kids, the Kenny Rogers roasters. Which reminded me of Seinfeld. Moving on. Then a nun walks by. Wow, convenient. Nun walks by.
Miracle.
For a Christmas miracle, as she's like saying, "Oh, please, someone help! We need help." And then a nun walks by, and basically, we have like a last name gag. Oh, you must have gotten confused since I got married. I have a new last name. Basically, thinks that God made a mistake, sent the nun. She was like a rabbi or something. Kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so then let's see. So Val's also there. He's saying, "No, Frank, I can come inside." Anyway, so she's there when the nun comes by. And I'm getting the sense they went to a Catholic school at some point.
At some point, yeah.
So yeah, you don't always see
I
like
don't know what the story is there, but
yeah. So like Val, basically Val, the reason the nun's there, it's not just out of pure convenience. Like, oh, I heard you in distress. No, it says actually someone's blocking my car, and it's Val. So basically, says Val's very apologetic, just doing the cross and everything, like the hand skis wall, that sort of thing. Yeah, basically making the cross is Val. You're not in Catholic school anymore.
no.
Says you're blocking the nun. Move the car. Says okay. Anyway, so basically, Fran's worried about her family, and what do I call you, sister? Okay, wait, sister.
Sister. Like that show on the Disney Channel?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I thought it was a cute gag. It's like, sister.
So Fran, she can't help herself. She just kind of unloads her situation onto the nun.
Well, she asked, like, the nun was more than willing to hear her out.
Sure, absolutely.
Then basically, you know what we should do? We should pray. Says, oh, you know I'm Jewish? Yeah, sure, pray. Go ahead. Go nuts. Anyways,
oh, dear God, please, I beg you.
I meant silently.
All right, now this is the point. I watched this episode on YouTube, so it's a bit of a glitch.
I am, folks. It's the darndest thing. I looked all over. I mean, I 10 YouTube videos of this.
I know, it's like there's plentiful videos.
I couldn't find
this exact same glitch.
I couldn't find it on Vimeo or any other source, but it was only YouTube. And every YouTube video I checked out, it's like funny. It's like some have like the commercials edited out properly, some don't. But even the ones that have it edited out properly, this is the one that just doesn't work.
So
Unfortunately, The Nanny. I don't know if the Nanny's been fully released on all the seasons on DVD yet. Because I couldn't. Otherwise, I think we would have gotten all of them by now. But I could. It might have just been a recent thing. But the point is now it's the season 6 isn't out, so the only way to watch is on YouTube. Or if you're lucky on TV Land, but this season I don't think it's
right.
Point is, the weirdest reason, folks, they are word for it, we just assume what happens. They're just Maxwell, the way it plays, like we're missing a few seconds between it. Maxwell
it's
just
literally like a jump cut.
Yeah, it's a jump. Essentially, it plays like a jump. Instantly, Maxwell's just there hugging her and spinning. You're like, oh, surprise! But we didn't see the whole discovery moment. So we just cut to, hey, you're back, instead of like, oh, surprise, we're back.
I'm like, okay, yeah, that was quite a dilemma they were in.
But take my word for it, folks. We tried every way around this.
Oh God.
So we can just assume. Okay, so they say Max, that it's a miracle. Hooray! Hallelujah! It's not raining men, but it's raining family.
Max explains that he thought that the heater was going to last for an hour, but
it 8.
Yeah. Oh, it's like the oil lasted 8 days.
Like Hanukkah. Thanks, sister.
I'm like, okay, that's a bit of a stretch, but sure, Brian, sure.
I'll give them. Hey, come on, it's Christmas. I'll give them that. Or Hanukkah. We'll give them that.
Yeah, it's Hanukkah.
And what other situation would you be able to say, hey, imagine it was any other holiday season would not work, but it's Hanukkah. Really convenient, but it works.
All right. Anyways,
thank the sister, and then her mother says, "I'm going home, Fran. It's another miracle." Okay, so then you take us to the last bit here.
All right. Well, they're lighting the first 2 candles for Hanukkah. Ray Charles starts singing "No Place Like Home" for the holidays.
Oh, which is awesome. Classy. Really awesome.
Of course it is. And then everyone's embracing each other, and then Fran and Max give each other a kiss. There's an applause from the audience, and the characters join in and said applause.
Families all together. Really nice, really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
And then we get an excellent
This is the second reason we're doing this. This one in particular is the second, because the end we hear I was laughing so hard. So we got Max and Fran in the foreground here, like watching. They're watching something. Somehow they related.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, so they're watching something, and then in the background, kind of wonderfully lit, so much like a play.
Right, exactly.
We got. Actually, no, they're watching the Nutcracker Suite. That's what they're watching. It's like dun 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 dun.
Right. Yeah.
So they're watching that. We don't see it, but we hear it as they're watching. And then in the background, perfectly to that music, we see the kids from all our flashbacks. We got young Fran, we got young Maxwell, and of course we have the incomparable young Niles.
Not just Niles, but young Niles.
Yes. Niles is awesome. This is an anomaly. This young guy. So the 3 kids are there, just kind of getting a little glimpse. It's illogical, but it's the ending. It's like it's a dream suit. Who cares?
Oh yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine.
Who gives a crap? It's awesome. So basically, the 3 kids somehow get a little glimpse into their future.
They're pulling some sort of time paradox, time travel thing, whatever.
It's like the old Kevin Smith quote. If a young Kevin Smith can meet old Kevin Smith, saying you're going to do all this stuff, how do we get so fat?
Right.
And of course, it'd be perfect if Niles walked by and asked young Niles, "How did we not get so fat?" Anyway, sorry, I'm kidding. Suppose 3 kids get a little glimpse into the future and says, "Oh, look at my house, my wife. I'm a rich and famous producer. Yay!" So Maxwell's happy. We got Fran saying, "Oh, look at me. Tell us.
Oh, look at me. I'm married to a gorgeous man. I'm pregnant. And I look darn good for 29.
Oh, the age gag. It's funnier every time they do it. And then,
even as a child, she's already in denial.
Yep. And then we have, Niles takes out in the last gag, and then I'm actually, I don't see you anywhere. And then Niles, the butler, walks in is with cleaning supplies, about to clean something. And then he says, before Niles walked in, he says, I'm gonna be like a Ballister, which again I think is a cross of sport. The point is Ballister, rich and famous, my own staff, all that stuff we said before. And then basically Niles walks in. He's a butler, and he's still a butler. It's just, oh. And then Cece walks by and says, "Oh, hello. Who's that?" Basically, young Niles is taking an interest in Cece Babcock.
All right.
That's the way into Hanukkah special.
So we went through a lot of tangents with that one, but all in all, it was very good. So that was the Nanny Chanukah in a nutshell. So yeah, I guess I'll start. Obviously, kind of the big draw to this is the flashbacks, even though they don't really last all that long. It's kind of the comedic center point of the whole episode. But as we established BlueDragonFive, I think it's interesting, and we'll go through it in just a minute, but I think it's interesting how many holiday tropes, how many Christmas tropes are in this episode that don't really mention Christmas at all, besides, the big Christmas tree and the whole, why can't we have a Christmas tree?
And Max at Christmas dinner, that's about it.
Right. So I don't know. It's just intriguing. It's an interesting little anomaly of an episode. Granted, I feel kind of bogged down in all this information that you just gave me, but it's all good. It's all good. The show had more character development than I gave it credit for at first. So props for that. Props for that. All right, your final thoughts.
I thought, this one, just being a fan of the Nanny, this one I really like, but now I realize maybe not the best introductory. Probably we've been down this road.
Not really, because it's knee deep in storylines.
Yeah, again, the only gripe I have with this sister, completely pointless, and the only reason she's in there is just to illustrate that Maxwell has other family. It's about it.
But like I said, she does have the one amusing gag.
Yeah, but still, she has no payoff or anything, so she's really just kind of pointless.
Oh, I apologize for causing a scene. Yeah. All right.
She's a plot dump. That's what she is just saying.
She is.
She basically says, "Oh yeah, well I can't show up because Max and I are doing this." No, he's not. Ha 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 ha. That is the only reason she's a plot point. That's all she is.
All right. So with that in mind, we got quite a few of them. So let's go through the tropes. Yeah.
Okay. So it's we're close to Christmas. There's
obscure characters showing up in Christmas specials. That was the first one. That was a fun one.
Yep, last minute addition to the holiday, so like a surprise guest too.
Going away on business for the holidays and that whole kind of dilemma.
Big old Christmas tree and decorations.
Of course.
And in this case, Hanukkah decorations too at the end, and with like a little light bulb menorah, which is priceless.
I'd say just in general, the kind of like exploring other cultures, that's always a fun little thing to go back to.
We got holiday food with latkes.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see. So again, you just mentioned flashbacks, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I didn't mention flashbacks.
Oh, well, yeah, let's mention flashbacks, and then you get some Christmas flashbacks. It's kind of a little Christmas Carol-esque.
In a way, yeah.
In a way.
Plus, it's dark and depressing, but
well, also there's a light glimpse into the future. Say, hey, here's their ghost of Christmas. Aside from Niles, everyone else gets a really sweet deal. Let's see. Anything? Well, again, so getting stranded.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, pass me the leg, Marianne.
Blizzard.
Right.
Let's see. So again, Scrooge. It's kind of a toss-up. It's like
I'd say it's Bryden. I'll give it to Bryden.
Like I kind of want to say Cece, but I mean she doesn't have an arc.
Cece's also a good choice, but she doesn't really have much of an arc. She's like just kind of
It's between Cece and Bryden.
I feel like it's funny that we can kind of have Bryden's like, oh, he shows up in 3 scenes, and his 3 scenes is an arc. It's like, he's not into the special. He's not into the traditions at all in his first scene, and then in his second scene he's like, Fred, why are you telling me this? And then in his third scene, he's there, he's embracing the holiday, goodwill towards men and all that.
That's all.
So there you go.
Yep.
All right. I'd say that's about it, right?
That's all I can really think of. And again, Hanukkah is with the also the theme of Hanukkah is throughout the thing about the 8 nights, the 8 parallel.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, and also I guess maybe the annoying family around the holidays with the flashback saying, "That's your present."
Oh God. All right. Well, I think it's time to put this on the list. So you want to?
So, folks, this time around we're doing the smart thing. We're writing down what we talked about so we can keep track of it. And by the end, say, "Man, there's a lot of stuff we talked about." And things. And things.
Hey, are you rushing or are you dragging, Miles?
Oh, Maxwell, are you rushing or are you dragging, sweetie?
All right, so we have Rugrats, Let It Snow. We have the I Love Lucy Christmas Show.
Are you rushing or are you dragging?
Batman, Invasion of the Bold, and God damn it, I just can't.
Invasion. If you say Invasion of the Bold one more time, I'm gonna hit you with the menorah.
Make that a show now. Who would the Bold be invading? Oh God! All right, Rock Power Christmas.
Whoa. Keanu Reeves.
Bells of Fraggle Rock.
Bum.
All in the Family. Draft Dodger Dynasty. Don't look at that because that's a little disgusting. Holly Jolly Secrets for Adventure Time. I know, my fault. You don't even have to say it. Inspector Gadget Saves Christmas.
Tiki screwed up.
Merry Christmas, Keenan.
Tubaphone, that is spelled T-U-B.
Pinky and the Brain.
Dun, 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 dun.
Lou Grant Show. You're a Dirty Rotten Bastard from Nostalgia Critic. Odd Couple.
Dun, 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 dun.
A Bed's Uncontrollable Christmas. Lost Season 1, it's a metaphor. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Bum, bum. Don't a feeling around the holidays.
Stantler's Little Helpers from Pokemon. A very awesome Yo Gabba Gabba Christmas. Mr. Hanky's Christmas Classics. Hal's Christmas Gift. Bath Item Gift Hypothesis from The Big Bang Theory. The Santa Experience from the Rugrats.
Yeah.
The Flintstones Christmas. And now, finally, the Nanny. Hold on, wait for it.
That's not a Mars bar down there.
Oh, young Miles. That's not a Mars bar down there.
Hey, Tiki, you said holiday time at Disney, didn't you?
What?
It's too.
Oh, no, I didn't say holiday. No, okay, I missed a few. Holiday time at Disneyland, the Wild Thornberries, Doug, Cleveland.
Yeah, you missed you missed a lot.
Oh, man, my mistake. I'm glad you pointed that out.
I was now saying, are you rushing or are you dragging?
I was rushing. I was definitely rushing, Walt. I was definitely rushing. I was rushing through it.
You're dragging.
All right, so we have, boom, the Nanny Hanukkah story. All right. There we go.
Tiki, no, in this spelling there's no C. Never mind.
What?
You wrote Chanukah.
There's no C?
No C. That's only in the Rugrats, but that's not important.
Well, it's in the episode title, so I wish you would have said that beforehand.
It's spelled. All the episodes I looked through copious amounts of episodes for this one. They all said Hanukkah with an H.
Okay, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. In fact, I spelled it really wrong. I spelled it really wrong, folks. I apologize. All right, yeah. Now I feel stupid. BlueDragonFive. Thank you. Yeah, peek beneath the wrapping paper. Well, why don't you set it up?
Okay, folks. Next time we're talking about another good one. Not as good as one from season 1 of Christmas in July, but one that's going to be still fun nonetheless to revisit. Alf.
I feel it's going to be more kind of like the light, sort of like representative of what Alf normally is, more so than the Christmas episode, which is more emotional.
It's a decent episode. I'm just saying, again, the creme de la creme of Alf episodes was the Christmas episode we talked about in the first season.
Right.
People just in advance lower the expectations. It's not going to top that. Not in anyone's wildest dreams. It's going to be good, but it's not going to be phenomenal like that. But you don't need the inside out tissues for this one, I like to say.
All right, and now I feel stupid, so I'm just going to bluster my way through the tropes. So tropes and whatnot, BlueDragonFive, yeah.
We went through the tropes.
Yes, we did, and that's the point.
And why do we call this process when we're going through all the tropes? What do we call it, Tiki? Tell me, Tikikins.
Don't you dare call me Tikikins ever again. Don't you dare.
Why?
We call it putting the mistletoe underneath the microscope next time on Christmas in July.
La 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 la.
Oh, look, Maxwell, it's a mistletoe.